What do you make of what he said and how we should think about being positioned here forward if he is right?
Yeah, so, I definitely agree that, and I'm not expecting the Fed to say much this week. So I definitely agree with him on that front. And I do think the Fed is doing a lot, but they're in this very, really, unique situation where, again, we were in this event-driven recession, right, in 2020. And we're in this K-shaped recovery. And so the Fed has been very, very clear that they're watching two things. First, inflation, and second, employment. And so we're not making the cut regarding jobs. And we have this big disconnect, as John mentioned, between the amount of available jobs and the amount of people who are unemployed. So the employment situation is not meeting the Fed's test. So, in terms of, I'm not expecting them to do anything, right? And in terms of positioning portfolios, so, I think investors should be looking at inflation protection. As we still kind of coming through on the other side of this recovery, we are going to see continued inflation because we started from a very low point. So we have to kind of get back to where we were before. And so a couple of things that we're thinking about in terms of positioning portfolios, we never gave up on growth, of course, but we're selectively adding value, right? Value. I think I read a stat earlier this morning that in terms of investment portfolios, value is making up like about 72% of equity portfolios right now. And so, but I do think that we're going to see a rotation back into growth. Diversifying across style and size. You should definitely be invested in small cap stocks also because they're having a moment. But diversification is the key. And if you're in funds, like we're favoring active management over passive strategies in asset classes where we weren't seeing that before, right? Where investors traditionally went passive, like U.S. large cap growth. And all I can say is we're not investing directly into Bitcoin, not for our clients.
Okay, so Joe Terranova, I could say maybe it comes down as easy as this question. Should I buy the banks? Should I buy the Freeports? Should I buy the Marathons? Or should I buy tech? Now, PTJ also suggested that if the Fed does nothing this week, that the Nasdaq could rip. Let's listen to what he said, and let's talk about that on the other side.
If you just look at the amount of quantitative easing that we have planned just between now and December, and you think about the 60% correlation between the Nasdaq and the reserves that the Fed holds, you could argue the Nasdaq is going to go up 20% if we stay on this pace.
What's your thought on that? I mean, theoretically, we're going to use his words, stay on this pace, which would keep bond yields from getting out of control, maybe, which would keep the tech trade in vogue, maybe. But then you have the other side of the coin, which is his thought that inflation is going to start to get really, really hot, which in and of itself could push bond yields up, which could make the reflation trade the place to be. What do you think?
So both Josh and Tiffany utilized the word diversification, and they did it with the time frame of long-term investing, which is always the right thing to do. But I'm going to use the word diversification looking at the time frame of just trading in 2021. And it's about zigging when the market is zagging. The volatility is collapsing right now, and it's all about ensuring that you're touching each one of these sectors. So when technology had its moment, Scott, where it sold off just 4 weeks ago, you wanted to lean into that. I obviously spoke to you about increasing a position into CrowdStrike. That was one of the ways that it was doing it. Financials now are having this experience. What I don't want the viewers to do is start trading a 10-year Treasury because it's at 1.47 and predicting where it's going to go 10 or 15 basis points the other way. I want you to look at what you're holding both in your long-term portfolio and in your portfolio for 2021 and say to yourself, I want to ensure that I'm incredibly balanced and that I'm not overweight anything. I'm overweight diversification, and I have all these sectors. So obviously, that means right now with financials, J.P. Morgan on a pullback today because Jamie Dimon is pre-announcing that trading revenue is going to be light. Okay, if you don't own J.P. Morgan, here's your opportunity to pick up a quality financial name. I think that's the right way to look at it.